This is Leaf Life. All things cannabis for all people. Now, Ricker and the Bearded Lorax.
We publish a free magazine called The Leaf that is available in print in 13 states and counting at your local cannabis retailer and also available online at leafmagazines.com. I'm Mike Ricker, your host of Leaf Life, proudly with my co-host and beloved bestie, Wes Abney, also known as the Bearded Lorax.
I speak for the trees.
And of course, there's AJOG.
Hola, aloha OGs.
And Mary J. White.
The smoking female.
Welcome to the second half of this Leaf Life show called Weed and Wellness. In just a moment, we'll get into how cannabinoids are wonderful dietary supplements. And we'll spin AJ's wheel to see what products Matt Friedlander, who's the founder and CEO of SKAGIT Organics RSO Company, also a certified Department of Health consultant and a member of the Washington State Cannabis Alliance. And he also has Ola, these beautiful little drippy, what are they, Matt?
They are culinary finishing oils. So there's
culinary finishing
100
oils.
milligram bottles,
Wow.
high quality culinary oils.
Watch us on YouTube at Leaf Life Podcast V2, and you'll see the bottles right here in front of you. He's this show's the guinea pig, but first, Mary, it's time for Who Does That?
Really? Gotta be kidding. No way. Seriously? Utterly perplexing. Who does that?
Mary J. White.
This pisses me off.
I hear you.
Okay. Just so you know, I'm going into this pissed
Tell 'em,
off.
girl.
Who does that?
Tell
Well,
them.
I'm going to tell you who does it, okay? For the past 20 years, between 15 to 30% of law enforcement agencies have not reported complete data to this agency. Now, there are well-documented instances of police intentionally manipulating crime data, as we know, or is it data, whatever, accidentally miscounting instances of certain offenses.
Cannabinoids.
All of it. Anyway, some of the raw data provided in these zip files contradicts data published elsewhere. Normal is telling us what's going on here. They say
NORML.
yeah,
Yes.
normal.
Yeah.
Good group.
Yep.
National
Definitely.
Organization for the Reform of Marijuana Laws.
Yay.
That's it.
We need them.
Sign up today. Anyway, what normal says is, even from this incomplete data set, it remains clear that marijuana seizures and prosecutions remain a primary driver of drug war enforcement in the United States. Hundreds and thousands of Americans continue to be arrested annually for these violations, even though a majority of voters no longer believe that the responsible use of marijuana by adults should be a crime. These notoriously unreliable reports have been made by our friends in the FBI.
Wow.
Does that mean
Like
fuck
that.
off, BI?
I think that's what that means. Yeah. They're focusing, 92% of these arrests are focused on possession charges.
Dang.
92%.
Yeah, you can't have weed.
Let's not forget that around the world and around America, weed is still more illegal than it is legal.
That's true.
And even I was just in Utah, and as a non-patient there, I could have been arrested at any time for a vape pen
No shit.
in my
It-
pocket.
It is still illegal to grow a single plant here in Washington.
I was gonna
Hey, by
say,
the way-
it's a felony.
Yes.
By the way,
that's true,
everybody
huh?
in Utah, welcome to the Leaf Life Podcast.
Yeah, welcome you guys.
We have a Utah Leaf.
Yay.
Yeah,
Nice,
yay.
congrats.
What's up? We love
Aloha.
you.
Welcome, Utah.
That's
you
all
go.
I have to say about the FBI, though.
Yeah.
I'm mad at him now.
Yeah, you know, it's the biggest hypocrisy currently, probably in the last 100 years, maybe ever, is the fact that cannabis is legal for medical use in 40 countries now, at least for medical use, yet it is still deemed a Schedule I drug, which classifies it as having zero medical value. Yet the government does nothing about it. Not to bitch, but I'm bitching. Fucking pisses me off.
Yeah,
all
it
of
is
us. That's why
stupid.
we're in this
It's really
business, and that's why we
backwards.
do this fucking podcast.
Right, man.
To educate people and entertain people, because you guys are so hot. You know?
You're
Help
high.
normalize.
Wes and I look like shit.
Normalize
Let's be
cannabis.
real.
Edutainment.
Oh, that's us,
Ooh,
man.
thank you very, very much, Mary J. White. Who
Certainly.
does that? AJ, spin that wheel. Let's see what Matt's going to be hitting next.
All right, let's go. Okay, here you go. We're going to take another hit off the dab ski now
Nice.
that you got it down.
Do I have to take that off though?
Yes. Oh, well, I guess maybe not. Let me just see.
Airflow.
This is live resin Grandaddy Purps, yo.
Oh, all right.
So get ready to chill out.
Favorite.
That's a pretty bomb
Knock me off my
indica
high
strain, traditional
Here
indica.
goes Dragon Hit.
Extracted by Millennium.
Yeah.
That's
Matt
right.
is going to do a
Millennium,
vendor day
the OGs.
after this at Herb's House, who is a former sponsor of the Leaf Life podcast. We love Herb's House.
That's a great
It's
spot.
here in Ballard in the
Yeah,
Seattle area.
really cool.
And Matt has a company that, he has to do vendor days
That's good.
for. And vendor day is like
Enjoyed
when you
it.
go and you set up, like you'll see at Whole Foods or something like that. You got your whole setup of stuff and you have specials and they're really fun. Next time you go into a weed shop and you see a vendor day, be sure to talk to the pretty girl or the pretty Matt Friedlander, who's there behind the counter. How's that Millennium Extracts taste, bro?
That was good, man. Way different flavor than the OG.
The
I like
OG,
it.
right?
Yep.
Yeah, the flavor profile.
Yeah, the
OG
GDP
Kush,
is
right?
I
good.
could smell that.
Yep. All right, now you're full of endocannabinoids, bro,
Yes, sir.
or cannabinoids for your endocannabinoid system, right? So, which means you can use cannabinoids as supplements. As you know, we don't get all the vitamins we need from our diet in the world. God knows that there's very poor soil that most of our food grows through. The meat industry is very toxic, if that's what you live off of, and we need vitamins. Our bodies crave it, and supplementing with vitamins isn't always the smartest thing to do either, or the most cost-effective thing. So cannabinoids are a great way to strengthen your immune system.
Yep.
Yes, they are.
And your company makes RSO.
Yep.
And a few different ways. Why did you choose to bring that product in a recreational market, and how does RSO play into supplementing?
Sure. The RSO was our first and only product for probably the first year and a half. I don't think we actually sold any actual weed.
And tell people what RSO is.
So RSO stands for Rick Simpson Oil, named after a Canadian gentleman that popularized the style of oil. It is an alcohol extracted oil. It's the way that we make it. I believe in my opinion, that's the only way that you can make a true full extract cannabis oil or full spectrum oil.
Ethanol?
Ethanol, alcohol, food grade alcohol. People used to use isopropyl and probably still do, but
Not good.
not a safe thing to
I use
consume.
that to clean my
Definitely not.
rig.
Yeah.
If you're trying to make the healthiest oil that you can make, you should be making it with a solvent that is in small amounts, safe to consume, and non-toxic.
I use
Yeah.
Everclear at
yep,
home.
Yeah, so same thing.
I use Jack Daniels.
Oof.
Not
That's
really.
it.
I'm kidding. I haven't drank in 7 months. Wes in 9 months.
Hey.
Wow.
Yep,
Nice,
congrats,
you
guys. Good work. But yeah, the unique thing about RSO, because of the chemical properties of alcohol, it contains a lot of beneficial fats, waxes, and proteins and chlorophyll from the plant alongside the cannabinoid. The solvent pulls those things out of the plant. And alcohol is one of the only solvents that will do that.
And
So
is
that's
it
why
a-
it's used.
Is it a cold extraction or a heat? Or how
We
do you-
do a room temp extraction. We want the presence of all the plant constituents alongside the cannabinoids.
Right.
And that's why it looks so dark.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the chlorophyll mostly.
I see.
And then all the fats and waxes and
Yeah, it's like black.
proteins. Yep.
RSO, but I'll say
dark
this.
green. Yep.
This is real talk. I've used RSO several times for small basal cells on my skin because I
Yeah.
grew up in Florida surfing. So I get these little tiny skin cancers.
I see.
And I'll dab it with the RSO in the morning and at night. And one on my face took 6 days. Came a little scab and I flicked it off because I knew what they look like, right? I'm like, oh, I know how it feels because
Wow,
it kind of hurts. And recently I had one on my chest. That one took about 2 months to get to shrink. That one
Yeah.
didn't turn into a scab. It just shrunk into nothing and now it's gone.
Wow,
Okay.
that's dope. Yeah.
And
Real
the
sp-
RSO.
I believe that's what Rick Simpson initially used this style of oil for.
For skin cancers.
For skin cancers, yep.
And you can rub it right on your body
Yeah.
or mix it with a coconut oil or into a lotion.
Yeah, I think it's best just put straight onto the spot that you're trying to deal with, cover it with a bandage. You can leave it on for a day or two.
Yeah.
It's so sticky. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It is. It's sticky and it smells very strongly of
Yeah.
cannabis.
It's got
It's
a
powerful medicine.
earthy flavor and scent to it. Yep, for sure.
And then if you're going to eat it, they say you start with about a size of a grain of rice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If
Pretty
that.
small. Yeah.
And then the best way is to just buy capsules if you're going to eat RSO
You
a
can do
lot.
that, yep.
You can buy capsules on Amazon. It looks a little funny to get a bunch of empty pill capsules, but you just squirt a little in and then you don't have to taste it.
Well, and
Yeah.
trust me, you don't have it stuck on your teeth for half an hour.
Yeah.
And that flavor in
It's
your mouth, it
definitely
just
sticky,
does
yeah.
not taste
Yeah,
good.
I don't mind the flavor too much. I just put on a piece of cheese or cracker or something.
Yeah.
Eat it down
And
that
you
way.
guys
But
do CBG
Yeah.
and CBC
Yep.
versions of RSO, which is how you supplement with cannabinoids.
right.
Why'd you choose to do that?
I've been talking with people recently, expressing the viewpoint that cannabinoids are like vitamins.
Yeah.
So each vitamin's got a different beneficial effect for the body, and the cannabinoids, I believe, are the same way. THC is going to have different benefits than CBD. CBD is going to have different benefits than CBG.
Definitely.
And those are the three kind of main cannabinoids. CBN probably would be the fourth one that a lot of people know.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of minor.
Sleep.
Yeah, good for sleep. There's a lot of minor stuff in there. CBCs, CBT,
CBN.
Yeah.
So
CBN, very good for sleep.
CBN,
I take it every night.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah,
So-
if you're out there, if you're trying to get to sleep and you've tried like Ambien and every other over-the-counter NyQuil or whatever, and you're just tired of feeling toxic, try CBN. Go to your local cannabis store, ask your bud tender, hey, I need something for sleep, and start using that. And again, I use it every night, and I sleep like a baby most nights.
Is it like a tincture or a capsule form that you like
You
to
can
use?
take it in a tincture or an edible.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
edibles.
edibles a lot.
Yeah, Wild does them, WYLD. Also Smokies does really good
So-
CBN gummies.
I like the wild
And
gummies.
so, yeah, just like a half a gummy, if that. You know, sometimes I'll just take a corner. I just need something to get me over that threshold to fall asleep. Once I'm asleep, I'm fine.
Now, everyone does react a little bit differently to cannabinoids, right? So as I was saying earlier, you kind of just have to try. It's nice that there is a variety now because you can try all 3 or 4 different kinds and see what works for you. Some people aren't going to, like I said, react exactly the same to CBG. For most people, that's going to uplifting effect, very energetic cannabinoid. But if you've got ADHD or some other kind of chemical imbalance along those lines, you might react differently.
Right.
It's one of the nice and frustrating things of it being a natural plant medicine is that it's not quite as standardized as pharmaceuticals, but obviously no side effects, and it's a naturally occurring plant. So.
Right.
That's what I always have to tell people in my cooking classes, right? That this isn't, 0.5 of Xanax.
Right.
You're making your own medicine, your own way. Listen to your body. This is different.
Yeah.
Right? It isn't just a
Engage it.
pill. You got to pay attention to how you're feeling, and then you can adjust. But we're so conditioned to those fucking pills.
Wow.
Ugh.
Yeah.
And with strains, you might smoke a strain from one grower, like the same name.
Yeah.
The same Blue Dream might have, be a different phenotype and have different effects.
Yeah.
So
Definitely.
it can be inconsistent or feel inconsistent as a patient, especially where you really like the effects of one strain and then you go to get it again and it's not the same. And that's where having the edibles or like RSOs or the more, refined products lets you have a consistent experience.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're
it's
using
true.
the flower or concentrates, it can be hit or miss. And so you don't want to get disappointed either. Sometimes a strain might not work for you. In the old, in medical places, you can go back and trade it for something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in rec, it's harder, but, it is good once you can find a grower or find a brand and a strain you like, then you can try to have that consistent experience.
Well, yeah, one of the nice things about our RSO is that the terpene profiles don't differ much. It'll be, 1 or 2 slightly different minor terpene profiles, but the major terpene profile is the same. The cannabinoid content is going to be what's different and is what is going to give you that distinct effect.
Well, I love that CBG that you guys make. I like to
no
take it
doubt.
before I go hike or whatever, and it puts me in a space of happiness
Right.
and wellness.
Wow.
And that's what cannabinoids do. That's what we're all looking for, is to be healthy. And it can diminish your illnesses, your sickness, getting colds,
Oh,
getting the
yeah.
flu.
Definitely.
Strengthen that immune system by keeping that endocannabinoid system. And weed and wellness go hand in hand. All right, Matt, now it's time for you to play
Yes,
Know
they
Your
do.
Slang.
Yo, peeps, it's about to get lit.
Hello, fellow teenager.
Bet. It's time to ask if you know your slang. Oh, this is gonna be crunk.
Matt, you've been in this business a while.
Oh boy.
Yeah, you know your shit. You know what's called what, right?
We'll see. We'll find out, I guess.
Yeah. What's the Mexican name of marijuana?
Ooh, mota.
There you go.
Nice.
Okay, he knows his slang. Come on, AJ.
All right.
Does that work? Yeah.
That wasn't part of the game, by the way. That's just a test.
Oh, he was getting you, testing you.
Just testing you, bro. Okay, here we go. 3 questions. You ready?
Yes, sir.
This is a slang term for average, ordinary cannabis that isn't top shelf, but also isn't boof.
Mids.
That's right.
Don't smoke mids, you guys.
Mids are all right if you got nothing else.
No mids.
Look at AJ. All right, number 2. This refers to feeling the appetite-stimulating effects of cannabis that is often associated with wanting to eat less healthy foods such as chips, sweets, or for bearded Loraxes, handfuls of hot stone-dried tadpoles sprinkled with daisy petals and toenail shavings.
Oh,
Yeah.
Well, when you have the munchies,
The munchies,
you'll eat anything.
there you go.
You'll eat
Munchies.
anything, right? That's right. All right. And finally, number 3. Why are you guys laughing?
You're just so weird.
What are you talking about?
Tadpoles.
He's a bearded Lorax. That's what they eat.
You're right. I know.
I
love
saw it on the
bearded
Discovery
Lorax.
Channel. What do you want to know, man? Jeez.
You're right. You're right. Sorry.
Number 3. This term refers to the act of smoking cannabis in a small confined space and creating an area concentrated with heavy smoke.
Oh, what could it be?
Hot box.
He's got it.
Woo! Winner.
This should not be confused with the bearded Lorax's favorite pastime of hotboxing, which is enjoying competitive pillow fights between Instagram influencers on the Naughty Network while posted up on the Lazy Boy when Kelsey Lorax is at work. She's in the next room. Better careful.
Spying on me?
You are so busted, dude.
I want a lazy boy.
I feel like I need less personal information next time.
Yeah.
Come on, bro. You've known Wes a long time. He's the weirded Lorax.
Yeah.
Now you have common Loraxogens, bro.
You really know.
Matt, where can we find you on social media, brother?
Well, you can find our companies at SKAGIT Organics on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And you personally?
X.
X.
You can find me on Facebook at Matthew Friedlander or on Instagram as well, I believe.
Just at Matthew Freelander.
Yeah, look it up.
With a D. Hey, by the way, thank you so much for being on the Leaf Life podcast, but also for sponsoring the Leaf and running ads with us for a couple years now, bro. SKAGIT Organics, the best RSO company in the state of Washington, maybe on the planet.
Hey.
Straight
when it
up
comes
OGs.
to legal cannabis, and we appreciate the support, brother, and we're always here for
I
you.
appreciate what you guys do, too. Thank you.
Wes, next week, video games and cannabis V4.
Let's go.
Boy.
It's going to be shreddy. Download this and all Leaf Life episodes at leafmagazines.com. And please subscribe on YouTube at Leaf Life Podcast V2. Now get ready for another episode of Stony Baloney, which is also available at leafmagazines.com. And please be kind to animals.
Your hosts for Leaf Life are Mike Ricker and Wes Abney. Leaf Life is produced by Mike Daly. Some of the music heard is provided by purple-planet.com. Every bit of cannabis you use is female, so please respect the ladies. Leaf Life is brought to you by Leaf Nation, featuring Alaska Leaf, Oregon Leaf, Northwest Leaf, Maryland Leaf, Amsterdam Leaf, and California Leaf. On the shelf now in your local retailer. Now, please stay tuned for this week's edition of Stony Baloney by Mike Ricker.
Stony Baloney by Mike Ricker.
People and their annoying kids. Who's got a sturdy noose handy so I can hang myself and end the misery? As if the steady banging of neon flashing little boy shoes with the tiny roller wheels into the back of my seat isn't enough. There's the incessant whining that is unsuccessfully quelled with parental coddling that makes me want to set the whole fucking airplane on fire. Rather than a good old scolding, the mother reasons, guilting the child for being irrational, to which the spoiled brat responds with a piercing squeal. "Why do you do this to me? It's not fair," she concedes while everyone around her pretends to be deaf. or when you're out having dinner and the tinny pitch of miniature voices tinkles out of the iPad like an annoying buzzing fly where Dora the Explorer is solving a riddle. The child chimes along with the parents entirely tuned out, entranced by the repetitive motion of their fork to mouth, while the ambience of the room is completely foiled, effectively turning the restaurant into a daycare center. I know what you're thinking. You were a child once. And indeed I was. And I'm sure there were times I was difficult. But I remember being taught to maintain a degree of respect in public places. And I understand parents' weakness because kids are little and cute, but this is their responsibility, not everyone else's. One day, this little monster is going to turn into an adolescent, zit-faced, pizza-eating, video game-playing, apathetic, masturbating machine who refuses to leave home and get a job. So please have a pinch of empathy and get on birth control. I guess I'm the asshole here. So be it. And by the way, when is Nabisco going to start infusing Fig Newtons with CBN instead of 28 grams of sugar? It couldn't happen soon enough, in my humble opinion.
Stony baloney. Some of the wardrobe, including Ricker or Wes's sick lids, is provided by Grassroots California. Check out the dopeness at grassrootscalifornia.com.
These products have intoxicating effects and may be habit-forming.
Marijuana can impair concentration, coordination, and judgment.
Do not operate a vehicle or machinery under the influence of this drug.
There may be health risks associated with consumption of these products.
For use by adults 21 and older.
Keep out of the reach of children.